This is a very, annual event that is growing in stature, and COVID has brought the spotlight on the convergence of technologies like never before. From vaccines to QR codes for RT-PCR tests and vaccinations, from antiviral drugs and antibody treatments to computational modeling of pandemic waves and telemedicine, the world has been transformed into a digital and biomedical ecosystem with irreversible disruptions in the way we work, live, learn, and regulate. The pandemic has accelerated every technology to a level that was unprecedented. Vaccines have been developed in less than a year. Online and app-based technologies have mushroomed across the world. And I can tell you that this has been the most exciting time for tech startups in IT and BT. Venture capital is flowing into every new idea. Stock markets are backing new age tech companies. India is at the epicenter with the world's largest talent pool of software engineers and biological scientists, with an opportunity to unlock unprecedented economic value that can catapult us into the $5 trillion economy in no time. Against this backdrop, I would like to call out two far-reaching policy decisions from the government, which is being discussed with industry in order to unleash the full potential of the biotech sector. The first is the production-linked incentive scheme, which has been announced by the government to really augment pharma manufacturing in the country. Industry body ABLE is now proposing a standalone PLI scheme for biopharma manufacturing. India has, as we know today, the biological drugs account for 80% of drug pipelines and already accounts for 40% of the global pharma market. India has both the capabilities and competencies to establish global-scale manufacturing facilities which will secure its long-term dominance as the pharmacy of the world. I'm very proud that Bangalore itself is considered one of the largest biomanufacturing capacities in the country. And I'm very proud of the fact that Biocon itself ranks amongst the top 20 biomanufacturing companies in the world. It is this long investment and very high capital investment that the government needs to support to really expand biomanufacturing capabilities and capacity. If we do not implement the PLI scheme for biopharma manufacturing imminently, we might see other competing nations deny us of leadership in the future. The second is a very important policy decision that we are discussing with the government, and this is research-linked incentives. Research and innovation are the cornerstones of non-linear economic growth. Biotechnology is at an inflection point globally to bring about disruptive change in medicine, agriculture, and energy. Indian companies need to significantly increase R&D investment, and academic research needs to generate intellectual value through licensable intellectual property. A research-linked incentive scheme based on investment-linked tax breaks, as well as fiscal incentives based on skill development, intellectual property, and academic partnerships is being discussed between the government and industry bodies like CII, FICCI, ABLE, etc. We hope that a pragmatic policy will make India the preferred destination for startups and outsourced research. Now, coming to Bengaluru and Karnataka, I do believe we have made huge strides in biotechnology through enabling policies that have seen large investments in research centers, biomanufacturing, as well as startups. The two institutes that were established in 2001 pursuant to the first biotechnology policy, namely IBAB and Center for Human Genetics, are now national centers of excellence in bioinformatics, genetics, and rare diseases. The Karnataka's recently established support for Science Gallery Bengaluru is another addition to the city's growing stature as one of the world's science capitals. I do believe that although Bengaluru is known as the country's science capital, we want to make Bengaluru as one of the world's science capitals. I will conclude by saying that the boundaries of various technologies are blurring and rapidly disappearing. The faster we merge and leverage the power of convergence, the faster we will innovate and deliver exponential economic growth. Sir, I want to basically say that Bengaluru is uniquely placed to do this, as there is no other place in the world that can boast of 2 million software engineers and 1 million biologists, chemists, pharmacists, and clinicians. This is why the BTS theme of driving the next is so apt. And as you rightly said, sir, let's drive into the future in a spaceship and fly high like the Hamsa with its powerful wing power.